Welcome to the Traditional Way podcast brought to you by the Martial Arts Center Network. I am Brett Shumway. Make sure to support the network on all of our social media pages and on the website at www.mainternetwork.com. On this episode, we're going to cover the first event of the 2025 Karate One Premier League season. And if you can't tell, I am super excited that we're here again. With the new schedule that the WKF is using, it does put a lot of time in between Premier League seasons. And for me, I wish they would figure something out so we didn't have to wait 7 months in between seasons. But we will see what the future holds with scheduling. I was champing at the bit for this event to begin, and it didn't disappoint. We had quite a few upsets at Paris that left me asking about where some of our veteran athletes are. And this happens every year, but it still surprises me when it does happen. But we all know as an athlete gets older or younger athletes step up in a division, the question has to be asked if the veterans can still hang with the competition. Now, we saw it last year that a couple of veterans couldn't, and they did not stay atop the leaderboard, especially when the younger, talented athletes are starting to push them out. But let's be fair, Paris was one event. So could an athlete have had a bad event? Sure. But it's definitely something to watch moving forward, as the individual world championships are this year. So how everyone is performing in this round-robin format may paint the picture for how the Worlds is going to go now that the Worlds has moved to the round-robin format as well. But let's not waste any more time speculating on what may have happened. Here's exactly what happened in Paris. Starting off for the ladies, we had a couple of upsets in the elimination rounds. Starting in Pool 2, the world number 4, Reem Ahmed Salama, gets knocked out, failing to secure one match. The number 19th ranked Aika Okazaki would emerge from that pool to move on. Pool 3 saw world number 6, Ermina Perfetto, fall to number 23, Sarah Bominar, who used her win from this year's Series A to move up into the top 32 to qualify for this event. In Pool 5, another top 10 ranked athlete, Celia Oiken, would lose to number 12 ranked Shamalarani Chandran in the elimination round. But the biggest surprise was world number 44, Madame Mosajian, coming out of Pool 7 to make the quarterfinals. As the quarterfinals were set, the first match paired Gabriela Izaguirre against Aika Okazaki, where Aika would pull out a narrow victory, winning 3-2. In the second match, Sarah Bominar would surprise the world number 2 Modir Jangerbey, winning that fight by a score of 6-4. The third matchup saw Shamalarani Chandran fall to Natalia Vargova by a score of 6-1. And then the biggest shock of the division happened in the last fight of the quarters, where world number 1, Yorgala Salazar, would be shut out by Masome Mosajian 6-0. Taking us to the semifinals, where Bominar would defeat Okazaki 4-0 and Mosajian would defeat Vargova 6-3, setting up an all-Iran final where Bominar would pull out the 6-3 victory and secure her second gold medal of the year already in 2025 and her first Premier League gold medal since 2019. Jangerbey and Salazar, the world number 2 and number 1, would take home the bronze medals in this division. Now, the first 3 pools of the minus 55 kilogram division went according to ranking with no major surprises. However, in Pool 3, world number 3, Mia Baich, would lose an exciting match to the world number 12 ranked Coke Sanastrani 10-8 that would knock Mia out of the event. In Pool 5, you could call the number 31 ranked Yvette Goranova knocking out number 11 Viola Lalo an upset based on their ranking. However, Yvette has been around for a long time. She just has not been that successful in the last year or so. But in the next pool, I would say number 19, Trinity Allen, knocking out number 5, Luisa Abarici, an upset. Now, Trinity and Luisa's match ended in a tie in the elimination round, but Trinity would take the tiebreaker, outscoring Luisa 9-7 in total points scored in the pool. And in the last pool, world number 7, Hannah Furumoto Desai, knocks out world number 2 and top seed in the division, Valentina Meneses. In the quarterfinals, we saw Alam Youssef defeat Maria Stoli by decision in the first round. Then next up, Tuba Yankin easily defeats Coke Sanastrani 9-3. In the third matchup, Trinity Allen would beat Yvette Goranova 7-0. And in the last matchup of the round, Hannah Furumoto Desai would defeat Rina Koto by decision. The semifinals would find Youssef defeat Yankin 6-0 and Desai narrowly defeating Allen 3-2. Setting up the finals between Youssef and Desai that would see Youssef secure the match and her second ever gold medal in the Premier League as she won the final 5-3. Allen and Yankin would secure the bronze medals for the minus 55 kilogram division. As we look at the minus 61 kilogram division, we have a Premier League debut in Sydney Yvonne, who would come out atop of Pool 1 over last year's breakout star in this division, Fatima Zahra Shaijai. Pool 4 would see the number 3 ranked Mariam Ajarai get knocked out by the number 20th ranked Leah Avazari. Pool 5 would see another Premier League debut, as the number 35 ranked Beta Gurvika would come out on top of this elimination pool. Pool 7 saw the number 37 ranked Ashley Kakaya defeat number 10 ranked Nurisen Ali in the last elimination pool, world number 1 Reem Kamas gets knocked out by the number 9 fighter Anna Joanna Nilsson. With the quarterfinals set, the first match saw Asel Kanai defeat the youngster Sydney Yvonne 5-1. The next match ended in a tie as Leah Avazari would pull out the Senchu victory over Nina Rajanovic. In the third match, Sarah Shimada defeated Beta Gervisia 2-0, and Ashley Kakai would come out on top the last match 3-0 over Anna Nilsson. The first matchup of the Final Four saw veteran Kanai defeat Avazari 5-3, and Shimada would beat Kakai 3-2 in a close fight, setting up the final match between the world number 5 and number 6 ranked fighters, where Shimada would cruise to victory in a 9-4 outcome. This would be the first time she has topped the podium since September of 23. The two newcomers in the division, Yvonne and Gervisia, would take home bronze medals. In the minus 68 kilogram division starts off with another top 10 athlete eliminated early as number 7 ranked Sylvia Saramaro loses to number 14 Ada Eltamur. Number 16 Hadir Hendi knocks out the world number 3 Alazi Algier in Pool 2, and the rest of the eliminations would not find any surprises as the rest of the top seeds all found their way to the quarterfinals, which started off with Ada Eltamir defeating Hadir Hendi in a close matchup 2-1. Next bout was a little more exciting as Tsubasa Kama defeats Maria Mejas by a score of 9-5. In the third fight, Talia Sombre edged out Janessa Romero 5-4, and in the final match of the round, top-seeded Elena Quercy beats Sadia Bersarovic 2-1. An exciting semifinal matches as Kama defeated Eltamir 8-4, and Sombre would defeat Quercy 6-4. As they moved into the final where Sombre was looking to repeat her gold medal from Paris last year and in front of the home crowd, and Kama was already improving on her bronze from last year's event. The two had a match that was close, but in the end, Sombre would repeat as the gold medals at this event, winning the final 4-2. Quercy and Eltamir would secure the bronze medals. The last of the women's kumite was the only division that the ladies didn't have any upsets in the elimination rounds. Yes, the number 9 ranked Shehenez Hemi and number 10 ranked Neve Junior would get eliminated early. However, due to their draw, they were defeated by athletes that were close in their rankings, so they weren't considered upsets in my opinion. But what that did mean was that the division had a stacked quarterfinal, where you can start to see how the division may play out for the rest of the season. In the first matchup, we saw Joanna Kinnear defeat Julia Daniszewska 5-1. The second matchup saw Maria Garcia defeat Rochelle Walters 4-3. Nailbiter in the third match as Ingrid Kremiers defeats Cleo Ferracuti 8-7. And in the last matchup of the final 8, Sofia Borotselva easily wins over Marua Edahir 8-2. The first match of the semis went differently than most of their matches, where Garcia did defeat Kinnear 3-2. In the second match of the round, Borotselva defeated Kremers 2-1, setting up a final matchup between Garcia and Borotselva, where we'd watch Garcia narrowly pull out a 1-point victory and secure her second Premier League gold medal. And she shall remain in the world number 1 spot for a little bit longer in this division. Walters and Edahir would win the bronzes. As we move on to the kata, in the female kata division, surprising there was not a lot of early eliminations by top-ranked athletes, except in pool number 7, where number 29th ranked Veronika Mishkova would defeat Nakaji Hisami and Aya and Nasiri en route to the quarterfinals, where she would see the first matchup between Natsui Shimizu and Kiri Mishima, where Mishima's Chibana no Kusanku would defeat Shimizu's Super Renpei by a score of 42.1 to 41.8. In the second matchup, Maho Ono's Chibana no Kusanku would beat Paola Garcia Lozano's Kurumfa, as she easily defeated Paola 43.2 to 41.4. In the third matchup, Saiko Ozuma's Paparin would defeat the Chadanara Kusanku of Sakura Kokomai 42.0 to 6-3. And the last match of the final 8, the world number 1 Grace Lau's Chatnara Kusanku would defeat the Chibana no Kusanku of Veronika Mishkova by 1 full point. In the semifinals, we saw Ono's Chatnara Kusanku defeat the Super Impe of Mishima, 43.9 to 42.2, and Lao Super Impe would narrowly defeat Azuma's Chatnara Kusanku by 0.2 points, setting up the showdown between Lao and Ono for the gold, as the world number 1 and number 2 would see each other in another final match. This time it was Ono that would win with her performance of Chibana no Kusanku, earning 44.4 points over Lao's Paparin, which scored 42.9. Mishima and Azuma would secure the bronze medals in their matches. A couple of surprise early exits in the men's first division up, as world number 6 Angelo Crevenzo saw his early exit out of Pool 1 in the division. The number 64th ranked Ali Meschini comes out of nowhere in Pool 3 to move into the final 8. The world number 3 Abdullah Shaban would have a disappointing event where he would not secure a match and exits early out of the number 2 seed in the division. The bigger surprise was this pool was won by the number 50th ranked Zaid Ali. In Pool 7, number 45 ranked Sami Tass would make the home crowd happy as he would advance into the quarterfinals. In the first matchup of the quarters, Orges Afifi and Christos Zenos would fight to a 1-1 tie where Zenos would win by Senchu. In the second match, Ali Meschini would defeat Zaid Ali in an exciting 8-6 matchup. The third fight would not be one to remember, as Irai Samdan and Kaiser Alpespe fought to a 0-0 tie. Samdan was awarded the decision. And in the last matchup of the round, Hiromu Hashimoto defeated Sami Tass 10-4. The first matchup of the semis saw Zenos beat Meschini 6-4, and Samdan pulled out a close fight with Hashimoto 2-1. Setting up the final matchup between Zenos and Samdan. That would see Samdan take home his 7th Premier League gold medal, where he would finish the match ahead 4-2. Meschini and Alpespe would both secure bronze medals for the division. The minus 67 kilogram division would start with David Yanovsky, the U21 world number 5 ranked fighter, come out of Pool 1 to advance in the division that wouldn't be short of surprises. In Pool 5, the world number 7 Afif Gaith would get knocked out early as he would fail to win a single match. And the last big surprise of the elimination pool, world number 2 and top seed Saeed Obaya loses in the elimination round and not seeing a quarterfinal, which is something new to him after his great 2024 season. The quarterfinal started off with Vinicius Figueira defeating David Yanovsky 2-0, followed by Yugo Kozaki defeating Gianluca De Vivo 5-3. The third fight was an upset as number 27th ranked Nuran Rizazadeh defeats number 6th ranked Luka Maresca 5-0, and in the last fight of the round, Omir Ozir defeated Georgios Baliotis 8-5 in an exciting match. In the semis, Kozaki defeated Figueira 6-4, and Ozir just beat out Razadadeh in a 2-1 victory, setting up the final between the number 10 Ozir and number 3 Kozaki, where Kozaki would squeak out a victory by Senchu to earn his 2nd gold within the Premier League. Figueira and Baliotis would both earn bronze medals. The first surprise of the minus 75 kilogram division was in Pool 3, where the number 7th ranked Enos Bullet gets knocked out of the event by number 28th ranked Nemanja Mikulik. In Pool 4, the number 3 ranked fighter Nurkanat Ashikanov gets eliminated by the number 12 fighter Abdallah Abdegalwad. And the last big surprise was number 4 ranked Omir Ur being eliminated by the youngster Hirori Pitzel, whom we all thought was going to make a move in his division in the past, but has taken a little bit longer for him to mature within the ranks. The first fight of the quarterfinals found Mohamed Abu Dabos win an exciting match over Enzo Berthin 9-8. Unfortunately, that would not be the case in the second matchup, where Nemanja Mikulik and Abdallah Abdegalwad would fight to a 0-0 tie, and Mikulik would be awarded the decision in that fight. The third bout saw Hirori Pitzel and Yusi Sakiyam fight to a 3-3 tie, where Pitzel pulled out that victory by Senchu. And in the last fight, the world number 1 Abdallah Abdelaziz would dominate Eric Rahozenko, winning 12-2. The semifinals saw Mikulik defeat Abu Dabos by a score of 4-2, and Abdelaziz continue his dominance in the division over Pitzel 10-2, setting up a true David and Goliath matchup between the number 28 ranked Mikulik and the number 1 Abdelaziz. And it would be Goliath for the win again, as Abdelaziz would keep his streak alive, winning his 8th straight gold medal as he won the final 8-3. The bronze medals were won by Rahuzenko and Abdelgawad. In random draws, sometimes there's a bad draw, or in this case, a pool 2 of the minus 84 kilogram division, a stacked draw. Pool number 2 saw world number 3 Konstantinos Massigiannis, number 5 Rikito Shimato, and number 6 Ivan Kvesic. And crazier than them all being in the same pool is that they would all lose to the number 19th ranked Jose Acevedo. In Pool 6, in another early departure, number 26 ranked Mokhtar Diop eliminated number 4 Valery Chobatar, setting up a final 8 that would start off with Juno Ito defeating Jose Acevedo 4-3. Youssef Badawi would defeat Mikael Martina in the second matchup 6-2. The next fight was Matteo Fiore hand Mokhtar Diop a loss in a 6-1 outcome. And the last fight of the quarter saw Muhammad Al-Jafari win by spread as he defeated Mehdi Saridi 8-0. In the semis, Badawi easily defeats Ito 9-1 and Al-Jafari beats Fiore 3-1. Setting up a final between the world number 1 and number 2, where Badawi would walk through the world number 1 in a 10-2 victory, earning Badawi his 7th Premier League gold. Cerrito and Ito both won the bronze medals. The over 84 kilogram division started off where world number 7, Saleh Abazari, saw an early exit from Pool 2 where he lost to number 19th ranked Fumio Yoshimura. Pool 5 saw world number 3 Rizvan Talibov get eliminated by number 8 ranked Matteo Avazzini. And the world number 2 Angelo Kvesic gets eliminated by the number 18th ranked Edward Salgilian. The final 8 had some intriguing matchups as we start with Rob Timmermans defeating Furia Yoshimura at 4-2. Next up, Anis Bostanzik defeats Husam Choya 5-2. The third match was a close one as Edward Salgilian beats Matteo Avazzini 6-5 to advance in the last fight of the quarters, Taha Mahmoud defeats Diaz Onurbekhanov 3-0. The first fight of the semis saw Bostanzik beat Timmermans 6-4 and Mahmoud over Salgilian 5-1. The final matchup came down to the world number 1 Mahmoud and the number 6 Bostanzik. In the end, it was Mahmoud by Senchu as the world number 1 would repeat in this event and his first gold since this event last year. Timmermans and Onurbekhanov would both win their bronzes by Senchu. The male kata division, there were not any big surprises in the elimination rounds. The only situation where a lower-ranked athlete knocked out a higher-ranked athlete was in Pool 2, where number 3 ranked Ali Sofoglu would lose to number 6 Ryuji Moto. But that's not a surprise because that's what Ryuji does. He is known for taking out higher-ranked athletes. He spent all of 2022 season beating people that no one thought he would beat. It's kind of his thing in the Premier League. However, he didn't fare well in the final 8, where he would lose the first matchup with his Jite kata against Ohan Dai of Ryunosuke Kikuchi by a score of 43.1 to 42.3. The second match saw Ariel Torres come up short with Anand as he lost to the Chibana no Kusanku of Yashiro Machida 42.3 to 41.7. The third match of the quarters was between Alesso Giannami's Kampu Show and Kaz Moto's Goshio Show, where Kaz would win that 42.1 to 41.5. And the last match saw Kokoro Nishiyama win over Gakuji Tozaki with his kata Paparin over the Super Renpei of Gakuji, winning by 2.1 points. And the All Japan Final 4, Machida would beat Kikuchi with his kata Paparin, scoring 43.2 points over Kikuchi's Anand Dai of 42.5. Moto's Gankaku performance would come up short against Nishiyama's Super Renpei, losing by 1.9 points. In the gold medal match, Nishiyama's Chibana no Kusanku was enough to secure his 10th Premier League gold medal over Machida's Super Renpei, winning the final 45.9 to 43.3. Ariel Torres and Kaz Moto would both secure bronze medals. I want to start with some key takeaways from Paris. Now, I think the American presence has to be talked about. Now, for most of my viewers, you may not know, but this was one of the driving factors for me to start this podcast. I felt the American presence within the WKF was about to take off, and I wanted to make sure that it was covered, number one, by a fellow American that would give these athletes the credit they deserve amongst the sport karate community and recognize their talents amongst the world's best. Now, I think we are just starting to see that come to fruition. The U.S. team brought 6 athletes to Paris. 5 out of that 6 made a quarterfinals in their respective division. Out of those 5, 4 saw bronze medal matches. And 2 of them did bring home the bronze medal in their division. And one could be argued that Sajlian's loss by Senshu in a 5-5 tie, that he was really a matchup that could have went either way, and we were very close to bringing home 3 medals for the American team. And I think this shows that the veterans are leading the way, as we are starting to also see a larger presence within the Youth League and the Series A. The next couple of years looks really good for the U.S. presence, and hopefully they will start to see the results that they're hoping for as well. Now, the Egyptian presence in the Kumite divisions continue to be a mainstay, not just within the Premier League, but across the WKF. They came home with 5 medals, 4 of which were gold. At this point, some of those athletes are being talked about as who can beat them at all in the division, and where, how much are they going to dominate by. But all in all, it's a program that they have that's not built around one athlete. They have a true stable of talented fighters that are tough to beat now and are going to be even tough to beat in the future. The last thing I noticed were the amount of top 10 athletes that got eliminated early. Now, this is the intrigue of the Premier League to me, right? This is why I watch. You never know what's going to happen, and it's always entertaining. We will all have to wait and see if the results will repeat themselves at the next event, or we will have a different results. I can't wait. And with that, guys, I definitely want to thank you guys for watching another episode of The Traditional Way. Join me for the next episode, where I'm going to bring you the results from the European Youth Championships. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Internet Network and all of our programming. Until next time, guys.